Hello, everybody. Today we're going to talk about what videos go on what platforms. What do you talk about? What is the difference? How do you know where to put the videos or what the difference is between the platforms? I know you're totally excited, right? Because so many people in last week, Pila asked me, oh, can I just use the same scroll stopper or headline? And again, I'm just going to dip in because your headline is so important. And I'm going to end on this as well. I am all about your content. So I need your video content to be stellar. But guess what? No one is going to get to your amazing video content if you don't have a scroll stopping headline. So her question was, can I use the same headline on Facebook as I use on Instagram as I use on YouTube? And I said, yes, for Facebook and Instagram. No, or maybe for YouTube. And here's why. YouTube's a search engine. Facebook and Instagram are social sites. And so what is a scroll stopper in Instagram and on Facebook needs to be a search term for YouTube. In other words, even though the video content may be similar or the same, what people are searching for or looking for are different. You're on a social site like Instagram or Facebook, and something scrolls by and the headline catches, or scroll stopping stops your attention. That's one thing. When you're on YouTube search engine, and I'm going to throw Pinterest into there as well, those are search engines. People are actively searching for a topic. And so you need to name your videos based on what people are searching for. So I have a little bit of a pet peeve when people are like, just take your Facebook Live and put it up on YouTube. And I'm like, you can. And if you like, so right now I'm going live on YouTube, and that is fine. Why? Because I am trying to up my watch hours, right? I have to hit a certain amount of hours that people watch my YouTube. So I'm putting this up there hoping that someone will be watching other content and then they'll stumble across this and they'll also watch it. So that is intentional. However, if I was creating a video and I want people to be searching for that information, I would name my video, ready for it, what people are searching for. That is the headline, because then you'll be brought to the top. And again, YouTube favors new content. So, hey, Heather, right? Yeah, Canadian with the hat and scarf, right? Because it's supposed to snow tomorrow. So I'm like, when you used to put your pajamas on inside out and you're like, I hope it snows, I hope it snows. I've just really been wanting a big snowstorm. So send us some snow. Yes. So again, this is what I'm talking about when what content goes where, how do I know? So again, YouTube and Pinterest are search engines. Facebook and Instagram are social. And then I put LinkedIn in its own way, and that is, it's a professional network, right? And so it differs in the type of content. Again, pet peeve, when a video expert, and they're out there, tell you to make one video that you can post it on YouTube, post it here, post it there. You can post it, but if you're that, to me, that's just video vomit. And to me, that is filler, not fuel. And I teach creating fuel, videos that are going to move your viewer farther along, not just posting for the sake of posting. Again, there is a saying that when I was new to the online marketing world, I kept hearing it, content is king, content is king. And that is bullshit, because if content were king, if the sheer fact of creating a lot of content made you money, there'd be a lot of people making a lot of money, because a lot of us are taught post every single day, do this every single day. How is that working for you? No, content is not king. Context is queen. And what I mean by context is putting content, especially video content, out there that your audience is searching for. Context, showing up inside their head, finishing the conversation, saying, you might be wondering where to post everything. Oh, let me come and help you with those answers. That's context. It is not content for the sake of content. And so when I talk about fuel versus filler, simply creating content is filler. It's a waste of your time. You need to think through so when the question comes to me, where should I be posting then? And my answer is always, where is your audience hanging out? I can tell you exactly where my audience is hanging out. Every single hour of the week, I can tell you who's hanging out where. It's LinkedIn and Facebook. That is where my audience comes from. How do you know that, Tracy? I track it. I love my numbers, right? Like I know exactly how many people come from LinkedIn. Guess how many come from Instagram? For me, 0, right? And that's okay. So am I going to spend a ton of time curating really good video content for Instagram? No, I am not. Am I going to use Instagram and try and bring people over somewhere? Yes, I am. Right? So you have a limited amount of time. And so many of you tell me, I don't have time for video. I don't have time for video. You must make time for video. It's such a great way to make a connection. And it is such a great way for people to recognize you as the authority that you really are. But where are your people hanging out? Right? So when you tell me that it's Facebook and LinkedIn, those are 2 different types of videos. I want you creating fuel. I want you creating nurture videos, going live once a week on Facebook. And then I want you creating some sort of professional video for LinkedIn, right? A different type of video. And I don't even have live access right now. They do have LinkedIn Live. I don't have access yet. You have to apply. I've applied 3 times, right? So it's pre-recorded video right now, unless you have, hi Vicky, unless you have permissions, which is fine, go live. There's a lot of rumors that, video is not really great on LinkedIn. That is also BS. There is video is their fastest growing format. It gets 3 times the engagement of articles. So just in case you were like, maybe I should put a video or 2 up there, right? You keep them short. But again, when we talk about content, I am going to create what and why content for Facebook or Instagram, if that is your jam. And again, I know many of you are like, oh, she doesn't like Instagram. That's not true. I love Instagram, not for my business. Instagram's not where my people are hanging out, right? Now I'm going to try and drive them over, but that is not where my focus is going to be, right? So you need to know this about your audience. And if you're brand new and you're like, how do I find that out? Hang out in places. Where is your competition posting and what kind of engagement are they getting? And when I say competition, I really try not to think about people who are competing in my space, but people who do what I do, right? Because nobody does what I do. It's mine, right? But when I talk about finding people in your space, in your niche, that's who I mean by your competition. But who is it that you can follow and see where are they also posting, because chances are they've already done the research to find out, as long as the people you're trying to serve are similar to the people that they're trying to serve. Now, again, I'm in a space with video people who are strictly teaching like selfie type video and Instagram type video and TikTok and stuff like that. That's not me. I'm structure and strategy, right? I'm bigger launches. I'm bigger numbers, right? Like that's the type of stuff that I want to teach. I want to teach professionals. My people are professional women, mostly. I, of course, get the mindful males every once in a while, but I market 100% to women, right? And so I know that my women are probably the top of their field, or they were the top of their field offline and now they're transitioning online, right? I know this about them. Where would these professionals be hanging out? Oh, LinkedIn. Yes, LinkedIn. So when I hear people say my people aren't on LinkedIn, I don't know whether to believe you or not, but you have to do some research. Are your people hanging out on LinkedIn? And so LinkedIn for me is such a great resource because the people, it's so funny because it's like the 4th time I've said this to people this week and it's Wednesday. The people who get on a call with me from LinkedIn are professionals. Professionals expect to pay a professional to do something. There is never any bulking of price. There is never any negotiating for lower prices. There is never any, well, do you have any free resources? Ever. from LinkedIn, because it's professionals who respect somebody for their professionalism, for what they do, for my niche, right? And so when I hop on with someone from LinkedIn who is looking for help with video, they expect to pay for it. That is not always the case in Facebook. And I'm not making comparisons that like Facebook's bad and LinkedIn's good. I'm trying to explain to you the difference between the content that you would put out on LinkedIn versus Facebook. Facebook has a lot more people who are trained to look for the freebies. I call her Freebie Fran. Freebie Fran is fine, but you need to start making offers, or else you're only going to be putting out content for Freebie Fran. If you don't make any offers, you won't make any money, right? So, but the sale might be a little bit harder, or you may get on a call and say, well, this course is $2,500. And they may say, oh, yeah, oh no, that's not. And that's okay, right? I'm not saying that everybody has to be able to afford that program. I'm just showing you the difference between where the people are coming from hopping on a call and the types of platforms, right? So when we are talking about the type of content, let's jump back to Instagram and Facebook. Social sites. Social sites meaning people scroll, they're looking for social. Your video may stop them in the scroll. What stops them in the scroll? Your scroll stopping description or headline. That's what stops them. They say, I am interested in that. And they stop and they watch you and you create a connection. The type of content you should be delivering through your videos is the what and the why. So if you think about your topic, and again, last week we talked about your marketing plan. So of course you have a plan and you know how this fits in. The what and the why. You're not giving them the how, because that's your course or your coaching or your product or whatever it is you're trying to move them along to, right? So the what and the why is the content for Facebook and Instagram. Now, if we move to YouTube and Pinterest, and you're posting the same video and you're teaching the what and the why, your YouTube and Pinterest people are like, I Googled how to. No, so this is your search engine, and it's the how. How do you do it? How exactly? Hey, Sonia, that description we learned in Video Script Success, that's right. So it's the what and the why for Facebook and Instagram, and then the how, because you're on a search engine. And again, when we talk about like sharing headlines and things like that, you need to do research on your topic, on what are people searching for in, I call it the YouTube Toogle, right? YouTube and Google, same, but they're always going to bring you to a video first, right? Because it's owned by them. And so what are people searching for? They're actively looking for an answer to what? And then you name your video that, so it gets ranked, and that's the how. How do I do this? Think about the way that you use YouTube. I got a cast iron pot and I wanted to know how to season it. Hey Rhoda, how do I season my new cast iron pot? And the bazillion videos come up, because I have hit the mother lode of how do I do this? So that's different than if my video would be how to here, and then I've given away the farm. I'm trying to move people to a course, but I'm teaching it here. So you have to think through your strategy. And a question I often get is like, okay, but if I'm putting my videos up on YouTube and I want to sell my course, but I'm giving away the how, then what? Well, you have to think through your strategy, because those may not be the videos that you're using to drive people to a course. There's a different strategy for YouTube. My friends at the Primal Video Accelerator, love them. They have a membership, and that's what they do. They teach you how to create the content and how to monetize it and the steps that you need to do that, right? It's a different flow. But this is when we're talking about videos, you need to think this stuff through. So again, the how do my most popular video uploaded 2.5 years ago, where do I look when I record my videos? I don't even know if that's the right title of it, but it's my most popular one. Over 24,000 views, tons of comments saying, thank you. I was looking at this. It's a couple minutes telling them basically to look at the green dot, or holding up a phone and telling them where to look. They want to know how, or really where to look. That's the how of it, right? What if I hopped on and I was like, it's really important to connect with this. It really adds to you. And I never tell them where to look. That would be so annoying, right? So think through the content that you are putting on there. So again, YouTube, Pinterest, search engines, how videos, right? These are the how-tos, 5 things you don't want to miss, right? Like these are all things that you can be talking about. Now, some of this can cross over and right, like the listicle stuff can go from one to the other. Like there's a what and a why that might be interesting for YouTube. If people are searching it, that's fine, right? That you can cross over, but you've done your research and you know that you can cross over. Where I now want to dip in just for a moment is the LinkedIn, and that's professional network, and that's professional videos. So those videos differ in a way, just that you're positioning yourself as a thought leader over there, right? Or a key opinion leader. So you would do videos about your brand stories, success stories, product demos, sneak peeks into maybe a webinar. You're having a webinar, the sneak peek, not so much the hard sell for the webinar, but like sneak peek into you building this. Your events, talking about, you could interview an expert and then you're cross-posting with this expert in your field, right? So it's sharing interesting, relevant said like elephant, relevant and useful information on your industry and your niche, right? So really want you to think about using LinkedIn as that stepping stone up to professionalism. So maybe you are someone who is transitioning out of corporate and into the online world, but you still can use LinkedIn to connect with all of those corporate people. How you show up on LinkedIn. I would never, ever do a LinkedIn video with a hat on like this. It's too casual. And listen, I am not one for like, I didn't fit in corporate. I never fit in corporate. I didn't fit the lifestyle. I didn't fit like, I don't play well with others. I like being in charge. Just ask my friend Jocelyn Joy. I have bossy cheeks. I like being the boss, right? But there is a certain level of professionalism in LinkedIn that I want to encourage you to just embrace. Like you can still be you. You have nose rings, still wear your nose rings, right? Like it's okay to be you. But again, you're talking to professional people. And I say this in a way that, again, these are people who are expecting to spend money on the person who is an expert in their field. So you want to show up as that very confident person who can do that. How can I do that on my niche on LinkedIn? Rhoda, like, so Rhoda, you would want to position yourself for nursing schools and stuff like that as, so like, if people have paid for school and they count on you to help them pass the NCLEX, it looks good for the nursing schools to provide someone to help them do that. What do they get? They get more nurses out into the world, and you are recognized as the authority in that. So like you position yourself with helpful things in LinkedIn, establishing, and you don't have to work very hard, Rhoda, at establishing yourself as the premier NCLEX teacher, 100% pass rate, group courses, all of these things. So sharing your journey, sharing some of the things people struggle with, but from the view of you want to be positioned as the person who can help the schools, or so really like all of the universities, anybody teaching, businesses, corporations, they're all on LinkedIn. They're looking to hire, they're looking to this. So if Rhoda, you can position yourself as somebody who's like the additional help to help them look good and get more nurses out into the world, that's how I would position you in LinkedIn. Does that make sense? Unique is good, wear the hat. Yeah, unique is great. And it's not about being unique on LinkedIn, Sonia. So I'm not saying don't be unique. Like if I had a nose ring, I wouldn't take it out. But showing up in a hat makes it seem like I was kind of blasé about how I want to show up in the world. And again, it's fine for Facebook. It's fine for Instagram, maybe even YouTube. But when I want to get on a call and sell $100,000 package to somebody from LinkedIn, I'm not wearing my fun hat, right? Like, so I'm going to put on my big girl stuff, and I'm going to record videos over there so that they know that they are dealing with someone professional. I'm going to talk all about my 20 years on set. I'm going to talk about the directors that I've worked with. I'm going to talk about my Emmy nomination. I'm going to talk about all the things that make me the person that they need to help curate their customer experience using video. It's a different message than me coming over here telling you, oh, you should be doing lives, and here's how to do a live, and here's, right? Like, it is really all about perception. Whether you meet me with a hat or not, I'm always the same person, but how I'm being perceived is really, really important. And I can tell you, as a professional who worked in production, working in production, we would hire actors. We would hire, they're called PAs, they're production assistants. And I would not hire a production assistant who showed up in ripped jeans and flip-flops. It was in California, because they didn't care enough. You should never be on set in open-toed shoes. And the fact that someone couldn't take the time to look up, even if they didn't know it, they wouldn't even be considered based on ripped jeans. And it's fair. I don't want to have to teach them that. They should know that, right? Like, so it's not about being unique. It's about the perception of being an expert. And again, that's for LinkedIn, right? So referencing your industry. So again, Rhoda, like referencing being an expert as a trainer. So as your LinkedIn pitch, that becomes your superpower. I don't know about a LinkedIn pitch, because I'm not sure. I don't think of it that way, as a LinkedIn pitch versus any other kind of pitch. It's just a different audience. It's a different offer. It's a different everything. And that's the whole point of today, is really like, think about where you're posting or going live with your videos and the audience there, right? The discussion I would be having over on a LinkedIn Live, if I were allowed to go live on LinkedIn, would be different. Right? Although I could actually just take this LinkedIn portion and tell people how to show up on LinkedIn in their videos if they want to be considered a professional. So yeah, so I'm not sure I understand the question, but yeah, like your LinkedIn presence becomes your superpower as a professional. So again, just to reiterate, because a lot of the times I really just say, like, can I put my Facebook Live on YouTube? Can you? You can do whatever you want. Of course you can. Do I think you should? Not so much, unless you're trying to, like me, I'm trying to build watch hours, right? So it's like a happy accident if someone's watching one of my other videos and strolls across this live and watches that as well, right? It just ups my watch hours. Should I go live on LinkedIn? I heard it doesn't work on LinkedIn. So again, there are other factors here. And the other factors to keep in mind is pick two and really rock them, right? So because if you're stretched too thin, and I'm now telling you that you kind of need different videos for different things. I love YouTube, but it has to be its own little job, right? And so you have to approach YouTube as the search engine that it is, so that you can get ranked and get more watch time and all of those things. Flippantly, YouTube is used as like, get on YouTube, grow, monetize, make money. It's possible. It is possible. I do it, but it is work, right? So you have to choose. Again, Facebook and LinkedIn are the two places that I actively think through the content and how it's going to be presented and do, and then I also have on my list that YouTube is something I'm working on and creating more videos for, so that I can release one once a week. But that's a whole nother job that I've actually hired someone else to help me with, right? Because I need help, because I'm one person and creating all that different content. So I get it when you tell me that video feels overwhelming. Then start with one, right? Then start with one where you think the most people are hanging out. Start there first if you don't have any following and you're trying to, right? It says, Facebook user, thanks for the info. You are quite welcome. Yeah, presence makes sense. Great. Rhoda says, so getting my success and how I got them there, showing colleges that I'm the person they need. Yeah. And could you be the go-to person? Because what the conversation, Rhoda, I want you to open up is with these colleges, anybody that offers any kind of nursing program where they are going to have to take the NCLEX. I want you to buddy up as the NCLEX. I mean, for gosh sake, you wrote a book about it, right? Like, I want you to be the person that they refer. It looks good for them and it makes money for you, right? Like, so it looks good for them to partner with you. So start commenting on things, doing videos about your success rates. And but the conversation is different about like, how many more nurses do they need in the world? Like, you can help their students pass the hardest test, right? Like, so again, positioning yourself as a person who's going to actually make them look better as a college, because Rhoda, you don't get the credit for that. They go to college, they pass the NCLEX. Oh, I went to this college for my nursing degree, you know, and Rhoda's the one who actually helped me get my nursing degree, right? Like, so you're the unsung hero. Go in there as the unsung hero. You don't really need all the kudos and stuff like that. You want the clients, right? So align yourself with people, ask for referrals, get yourself, see if you can become a speaker, like do a guest talk. Hey, I have a 20-minute guest talk for your nursing students. And in there, you weave in and you're seeding that you have a class and that you have 100% pass rate and that you have like, so I get a lot of clients from doing trainings in other people's memberships and stuff like that. So Jeff Walker, I did a training within his group, and that aligned me as the video expert. His son does video, but I'm the one doing the training. I'm the one who still gets calls. I'm the one, right? Like Kate Northrup, all these other people where I went in and I did trainings within their courses, and that helped me become recognized as the video expert. So you are the NCLEX expert. Who can you align with where you can get your hands on more nursing people? So you're not necessarily, you can go in there every once in a while and like if there are some nursing students in there, but I think you're on the right track thinking maybe they're not on there yet. They're concentrating on getting their nursing degree, right? But the institutions, anything that can be aligned where the nursing students would be attached in some way, that's where I would go. I hope that over answered your question, but that's it for today. So we were talking about social versus search engine videos. Again, just keep in mind YouTube and Pinterest, search engines. So that's how to do this. What exactly do they need to do? You want to align those headlines with what people are actually searching for. Facebook and Instagram are your social, right? And then LinkedIn is your professional. So you're showing up as the expert in your field in the professional network. Yeah, go after the nursing school. So Rhoda, yeah, go onto LinkedIn now, do a little research. When you put in nursing school, see how, and then start writing those down, get your profile up and running. I highly recommend, if LinkedIn's going to be your jam, and someone should probably tag my friend, Deborah Ashley. She is the LinkedIn black belt. The book is called Insider, How to Leverage LinkedIn to Stand Out as the Industry Leader. And she is amazing. I hired her and she did an audit of my LinkedIn page to tell me how to show up even better. And I have a whole list of things I need to be implementing in LinkedIn to really stand out as the expert in my field. And she had so many great things that I need to do. So that book is an easy read, and it is a resource and a half. I have 2 books that sit on my desk that I use all the time. Hers is one of them. And that's next to like Copywriting Secrets is one of my favorite books. So I really recommend that book. I recommend picking a place. And Rhoda, I think LinkedIn for you could just be a really rich resource of people who would just pass you around and be like, oh my gosh, yeah, like if she can help our pass rates. So there, again, when we talk about marketing, positioning, and you know where I live, we can always do like a 60 or 90-minute deep dive and come up with a plan and positioning and, you know, all those kinds of things. Hey, I just got a Copywriting Secrets. So with Copywriting Secrets, I know I'm going off, but that's okay. With Copywriting Secrets, Heather, what I do with that is for each of my offers, there's a secret number 8, and he talks about PQR2. I'm just teasing you a little bit. Every single offer I have, the 5 super short scripts, 6 and 6, homepage video workshop, live video launch pad, anything that I offer, I put through secret 8. And it is magical how it helps you with your positioning and your offer and the objections and just everything that will make your copywriting better. Because again, it goes hand in hand. I'm not a copywriter. I'm a video expert. I am a very strong writer. I'm very creative and clever, but I'm not a conversion writer. So it really helps me with that. You're welcome, Sonia. I appreciate you showing up. I'll see you next week. What are we talking about next week? I don't have I have it all scheduled out. I'll let you know sooner rather than later, but I'll see you next week, same time, same place. Let me know if you have any questions. If you're watching on replay, #replay, you know where I am. I hang out in here all the time, and I will see you next week. Have a great week.